Okay, I think I'm just about ready to get started. So I guess a quick a quick note on the Saturday stream. I wasn't feeling all that well. I think just due to just poor sleep. I think you even mentioned on the Thursday one that I was feeling exhausted. I slept like 12 hours on Saturday after only having like 3 hours of sleep on Friday. So my sleep schedule's kind of all over the place at the moment. But I'm feeling a little more awake now, so I think I'm good enough to stream. And I was just reflecting on what we were doing last time. And I believe we are on a journey from Yasol, or South Gand. So many Gans. And we were on our way to see Grimoire, finally. But also, more importantly, we're on our way to seeing a water temple, which has been very loosely hinted at this point, but I'll just go ahead and confirm that that's where we're going. So let's switch over to the game. I ignored my note to check that from last time. One moment. Give the game like 1 second. There we go. Like my last file was a quick save? Yeah, I guess it was. Water temples are always fun. I agree. I know I could do something to wake myself up. Out of curiosity, for Bienfu Bounce, out of curiosity, just if I don't do this with a controller, out of curiosity, what keys does it want me to do? Oh, ew, chat, look at the... Okay, chat. For those of you not at a keyboard and not aware of how awkward and awful that is, it's like, you gotta think about it. It's like the row on your keyboard that's as diff, right? So it's like, D is 3 keys from the left, J is 3 keys from the right, and then A is the leftmost key and L is the rightmost key. Why would they do that? I'm just curious how it feels to do this. I jumped way too early. That's a shame. I actually had a lot of momentum there. I'm determined to get first place, chat. So if I didn't jump so early... Well, okay. I mean, like... sure, okay. S+++. I mean... To me, I really botched that, but whatever. I mean, it earned the max rank. I didn't even know that was a rank. I mean, personally, I thought I undershot that by a lot. But you know what? The power of keyboard. Okay, so I think the problem with this one on the controller is just like doing alternating left and right inputs. I think just due to the D-pad I'm using, it doesn't like actually inputting opposites that quickly, whereas like on the keyboard I don't feel like I did it any faster, to be honest, and I actually, as I said before, botched the jump timing. But apparently, you know, just the best rank ever. So what is our reward exactly for doing it? Oh, just the Tails coins? Let's do this again. I mean, now I'm just kind of curious. I mean, I don't think I'll do better on my super hard, but on like, let's say easy. I'm just curious. Yeah, that one is much harder to do. I drowned him. That one is much harder to do. Oh, my controller decided to go to sleep. That's not good. One moment, chat. That would also explain some things. Hold on. Okay, we're good to go. Lazor, how's it going? Hi Chris, how's it going? Oh, you should be sleeping right now? No, everybody has very different time schedules and sleep schedules. My sleep schedule is all over the place this week. Does not help I usually get called in for like production work at like random hours. But I think otherwise we are good to go. I don't think there's anything else we have to do. I got revenge on that minigame in one try, so I mean, you know, half awake, but I honestly, chat, did not even know there was an S+++, but the more you know, chat. Chat is just thanking me for drowning him. Just the feelings towards the Enfu are pretty strong.
So this is Muckler Beach.
I hope she's actually here.
Okay, so let's fight each of these creatures and just take a quick look at different things that they could drop. I'm a little bit interested in the Jupiter Satchel. The resistance shoes, I don't think I care one way or another. It's not make or break if I get those. It's not like Castiel's, chat. I don't super care if I don't get them. There we go. Nice little combo chains on them. Their weakness is unfortunately for them Earth.
Are you hurt? Can you stand? Yeah.
Caloric boots, I don't agree with that. Also fight the snake enemies separately just to see what they draw. I think those are decent. I feel like we have that though. I don't know why I thought their weakness was fire for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, that didn't seem right. Okay. I just wanted to verify one thing. Oh, I tried evading. I failed. There we go. Wait, who got the stun from me? Eleanor, did you stop me from getting another orb? I know it's not good, Aizen. Someone stopped you from getting your stun for no reason. That's very rude.
Think you can dodge? Just try. Perfect mayhem.
I just peer into the chat and I'm like, I just read the lines like, he can always suffer more. I mean, I feel like that summarizes how the chat feels. Oh, chat. I don't 100% blame you. I'm mostly immune to his voice, to be honest. I know why it annoys people, and I'm okay with it, but it's just more... I just find it funny. There's one character that genuinely does annoy me, though. I think it's much worse than Bienfu.
Whew. I thought we were done.
That character gets nothing but hate, like forums, because I went to Google that character's name last time, and it was like, I really hate X character. Why is this character in the game? It's like the first result when I just looked up the character name. I'm like, wow, that's intense.
Are we ready?
Okay, so I don't think we fought the peacock yet, so apparently we could get a little ribbon for our companion, but unfortunately, we probably will not get it on just a showcase of the enemy. Personality bothers more than the voice, explains Chris in the chat. I could kind of see it. I mean, I just kind of write him off as like a comedy character, and I tune him out. I understand though, I feel like he probably goes a little too far, I would say, in the way he's used. It's kind of like when I'm watching shows, how like, if I see things with like chibi in it, generally it's a turnoff for me because I'm trying to get invested in the plot, and I just find that kind of stuff distracting. So I understand if you find like Bienfu very distracting, because the plot of the game is very interesting, and he is not very interesting. So I completely understand from that standpoint. Oh, I think we did actually get resistance shoes randomly. Oh, we got a Cassandra sash. Okay. I mean, not as good as the one we're currently using just because the focused amount is so high, but we'll do that. Okay, so she finished up the calcite boots. Let's move her on to other boots. Like Castile, that would be good if she got that. More blast gauge. The jumping minigame is a good stress relief for people that don't like Bienfu. I mean, I could see that. I don't want to go into too many spoiler details, but just think, chat, when we get the fast travel method, it is also a method of torturing him. You have to think about it that way, chat. Then it makes you feel a lot better when you fast travel. But in any case, oh, there's what I'm looking for. It's right over here. Look, chat, it's a cat's chest. Oh man, we're actually losing souls at a very rapid rate. So we're down to 4,100 from our pretty steady 4,500. Got white bunny ears. I don't know, chat. We might have to soul grind at the end of the game, but we'll see how many we end up with by the time we hit the final part. Oh, we got an additional thing that increases our defense +3. Oh, look at this, chat. He will not be bested. The little boy will be the tankiest. If I have my way with the stats. Oh, that was mean. I saw him on my left, so I went slightly to the right, then he teleported. What a jerk. Cat is acknowledging they went from no, why do you drown Bienfu to haha, yes, suffer very quickly. A little bit. Oh, chat. What to do with you? Okay, so we're just gonna go clean up these enemies. I didn't really intend to get into this encounter. I'm not looking to grind fights. I just wanted to show off the enemies. That's about it. Just to show, like, hey, this is what the enemy can sort of do in combat sometimes. We'll see them do spells or, like, overall threat level. But beyond that, I'm gonna hope to not repeat encounters.
Sorry to cut you down.
Oh, speaking of cooking, how are we doing with the cook and eat? Oh, we still have a lot of usages left.
I'm finished. This should be alright.
I'm finished, chat. So I'm actually going to choose what her bonus is now that she's leveled up enough. I think focus is actually one of the better things
This should be
to end up using, and I think towards the end of the game I end up using her over Velvet, because Velvet has things like
This
the
grimoire who we're
damage
searching
reduction.
for is a Moloch like Bienfu, right? To be honest, I don't see how someone so different can be a Moloch just the same as Laphicet or Aizen.
I understand your doubts. It's quite the tangly mess. I'll tell you anything!
In that case, I've been wondering, what's underneath your hat?
Oh no! Anything but that!
So, we've hit a wall already.
But that ribbon flaps around and gets in the way, right? Could I take it off for you?
No, that's not possible. You mustn't remove the ribbon. Why not? That's another thing I can't say.
It's all cants with you. Alright, is there anything you can tell me?
I could talk about what type of Malachim we are, or our position in the world of Malachim, or our abilities. Oh, I'd like to know all that. Then I will tell you. Listen closely. We Norman are a well-established race of Malachim. Compared to other Malachim, we aren't as adept at manipulating natural forces, but we excel at drawing out and heightening the abilities of others. Think of them as a convenient power-up.
They're also known as common spirits.
Don't even say that! We Norman hate being called that.
Why is it so painful for you?
Because it makes people think we're average and unremarkable. That's why we work so hard to show how we're all different.
That does explain your quirky speaking mannerisms.
Don't sweat it. That's a perfectly common thing to worry about.
Don't say that!
Well, they get to tease Bienfu a little. So I see a question in the chat asking what every stat does. Sure, we could go over that real quick. So let's look at the bottom left just to talk about it a little bit. So we have the obvious ones of the hit point total. You know, if we hit 0, we die. BG for the blast gauge. That's just like a super meter we build up, and we get 3 at the moment is the minimum needed to cause our mystic art, where we go into that cinematic with our lethal pain from Velvet. The sword icon is just your physical attack. That also is determined when you... Excuse me. It's also used when you use mixed arts. So think about Laphicet, where Laphicet has no martial moves in this game. However, if you take a look at his normal abilities, where it's labeled as a hidden art, hidden arts are determined by both your physical and magic attack power. So if we take a look back at... Let's also look at Laphicet. So even though he's got 141 physical, and the wand is 371 on the right side of magic attack power, it actually combines the two. And I think it roughly divides by 2 to determine your overall damage. Otherwise, we next have the 2 rows of defense with the armor and the hat. The armor being the physical defense and the hat being the magic defense. And both of those contribute to resisting the hidden art damage. So having really high physical also gives you like some partial resistance to the hidden arts. And focus is probably the thing that people may or may not understand in the bottom left, which is the targeting icon. That affects how quickly you get your soul gauge recovery. So you might have noticed when I use different moves, we go from the blue soul gauge down to orange, but then I have to pause a little bit for it to recover. So that way I can use moves that cause varying amounts of, I was going to say TP. What did they actually call it in this game? Oh, excuse me, they call it SG in this game. Instead of technical points, it's the soul gauge. So it costs 8. Each soul is worth 20. So if I have higher focus, I recover that quicker. But more importantly, for things that have a random chance of occurring, like poison, attack down, everything else, that just improves the odds of it occurring. So as I was saying before, one of the things I like to do towards the late game is when enemies' focus starts to get really high and they have like a natural resistance to your status effects, I usually go for the focus boosters over anything else in the game because I want to make sure I'm constantly getting souls. So that way I'm constantly breaking soul for combos, then it just kind of spirals out of control. Whereas I feel like early on players will probably gravitate more towards Velvet because she's A, the first cook that you get, and B, if we take a look at the skills of Velvet, she has some pretty good ones to reduce overall damage. So if you're dipping into the higher difficulties for the first time, reducing 1,000 plus damage by 40% is actually pretty big in helping you survive different encounters, especially if you get it all the way to level 20, as you can see here. 40% down is pretty big, as that will impact most Mystic Arts, which I feel like for players that are playing the first time will probably be how you die on some of the later bosses, rather than just normal strikes. There are some exceptions to that, but generally speaking. I will try not to use Velvets too much, honestly. There's only like a couple scenarios where I might change the cooking to that, and those would be like the bonus dungeons, just because their damage gets a little silly. Or if I want to show off a Mystic Art, then if I want to survive that, I should probably do it. So speaking of which, it looks like Laphicet is now at 163, so his mixed art damage is going up and up and up, chat. No problem, Zora. If you have any other questions related to the game, I'm always happy to explain. Let us go ahead and collect more souls on our journey to another chest. I just double-checked the comments again, and I just see, in relation to Bienfu's skit, yeah, make him cry. The hate is real. So we'll jump down here. I want to say later on, this area is not too bad for getting red herbs. I feel like I sometimes return here to reset the red herbs.
What are those penguins doing?
Probably keeping their eggs warm?
Most likely. They look like a mama and a papa. Penguins are monogamous, faithful creatures. They never leave their mate. Isn't that romantic?
So they lay eggs because they're like husband and wife. But how do they make the eggs?
That's... well...
So, Laffy said, here's an interesting fact. A single penguin egg actually contains dozens of smaller orange eggs.
Oh, so their eggs must be small and crunchy.
Yep. They have the texture of caviar and the rich flavor of sea urchins.
Interesting. So they're more like fish than birds.
So you've eaten them. How cruel. Look how much they care about their young.
While it may be a bit cruel, they taste amazing. They're considered a delicacy in some circles. Top a bowl of rice with these crunchy eggs and some rich penguin thigh meat, and you get a dish called family fricassee.
That's a horrific name.
I wasn't the one who named it, okay?
Those eggs look tasty, but I think I'll pass.
Or penguins, chat. With a little coconut in the water there. I'm just trying to recall. Well, I missed the chest somewhere, but that's okay, chat. We don't super care about the chest in this game.
A foe worth killing.
He says a foe worth killing, and I'm like, not really, actually. We're okay, chat. I don't really want to fight this battle out. Are they really attacking me? Please go away. What jerks, chat? Honestly, chat, most chests are really not important to get in the game. The only chest I'm really looking to, like, never, ever, ever, ever miss are the bonus dungeon chests. Because those are just so... Those can give you items you can't get anywhere else in the game. Sometimes you could get some rares you haven't seen before in the other chests, but not too often, honestly.
Is that...
Grimoire? She's moving away.
Hello, boss fight.
A dragon?
No, just a
I just interrupted his attack with the tag swap.
big lizard demon.
Weakness of Earth.
Is he friends with Dial?
Finish this. See this? Under pressure. Win back. Don't laugh. You're not good.
Oh, that didn't actually launch him or stun him. That sucked.
You're wide open. Burn. 1, 2. No escape. Deception. Blades of wind. Slice them. Air blast. Oh, no escape. See this? You're wide open. Burn. Ready to die.
Ooh, I wonder if that was fast enough.
Just try. Perfect mayhem.
It's okay damage-wise.
You wronged me! Here's your justice! Fighting order! Here it comes! Here! Spyro!
We'll just continue the combo, chat. It's not a big deal.
Close. I won't miss. Form 0. Thunder.
Now, rise! Arise! Ascending! Angel! Crimson
No
Servant,
escape.
War Beast! War Beast!
Smash them. Don't laugh. You're wide open. Burn. No escape. You're wide open. Burn. Blades of wind. Slice them. Air blast.
As I said before, I like to use the Wind Slicer just because it'll interrupt the boss most of the time. Honestly, it buys our allies a lot of time, even if he's resistant to it.
Smash them. Don't laugh. Blades of wind. Slice them. Air blast. Air blast. No escape. Eat it.
What a stubborn boss, chat.
No escape. Eat it. Don't laugh.
I enter the
I think it's time to switch strategy since he seems to be blocking a lot.
hurricane. 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 Watch them. For 3. For 3. Watch them. Hurricane. Killing flash. When I'm this close, I won't miss.
Form zero! Thunder!
There we go. Yeah, I think unfortunately when I did the other combo, I got the weakness hit, but unfortunately the stun wore off like a quarter second before I did the Mystic Art, which caused me to do a lot less damage, which was unfortunate.
Windlass! Windlass! Air thrust! You're wide open! Bird! No escape!
I was trying to reset him there. It didn't quite work. Dodged slightly too early, which is unfortunate. See, now he's gonna start being very aggressive, so I have to be careful. As you can see, he's kind of annoying to interrupt. Apparently he doesn't have listed Iron Stance, but he's definitely just ignoring hits. He does nothing but water damage, I guess.
Air thrust! Blades of wind, slice them! Air thrust!
There we go, getting combo resets on him. Just gonna hold block a little bit to recover SG faster. Oh, he didn't like the got you.
Oh, he's shy. More like it's angry. Let's not enrage it any further.
It's building up strength.
No mercy!
They're trying to tell me to be careful, and I'm like, no, I'm kind of comboing him right now, it's fine. Oh, that almost killed me. I mean, fortunately I was in the demon form, so he was never really gonna outright kill me. Oh, I didn't you're wide open him. Oh, that was scary. Goodbye, Eleanor. It's kind of like an ongoing joke from the first time I played the game. Eleanor, like, always dies every combat. I don't really know why. Like, she just died so many times in our other playthrough. And it wasn't even on, like, an ultra-hard difficulty either.
I'll finish this.
Huh. I went to double dodge there, but it just forced me to block for some reason. I guess I was holding evade, or I was holding block too long.
Smash them.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to pick up that soul, and our allies didn't pick up the soul for some reason.
Stone lance. Eat it. You're wide open.
There we go. This is just what I wanted to do.
Eat it. You're wide open. Bird.
Gotta get the combo going.
Eat it. You're wide open. Bird. No escape.
Oh, he's actually getting the stun. Look at that, chat. Oh, another stun? Oh, is this a real combo? Oh, it was almost a real combo. So close, chat.
Pummel. Windlass. Blades of wind, slice them.
As I said before, if the boss looks like it's targeting somebody else, I'll win Lance because it'll slow the boss up a little bit, generally speaking.
Blades of wind, slice them. Air thrust.
See how that... Yeah, it started hitting him a little bit. Unfortunately, I'm very low on SG, so I have to be careful. Evading does cost a little bit of your blue meter, so just make sure you have enough to dodge.
I enter the fray. Air thrust. You're wide open.
Okay, time to finish it with Aizen.
Think you can dodge? Just try. Perfect mayhem.
There we go, chat.
Fly away, little birdie. Far away.
Eleanor, you're just never gonna get experience. I'm sorry. This happens like every game. I don't know what it is. You just can't stay alive. I try, chat. She just doesn't want to win. We have an interesting defensive spell from Aizen. Moonlight Cyclone, I think, is decent. And I guess if you're looking for a projectile, Cyclone Dart from Rokuro is not bad. But on the plus side, chat, we're gonna learn more of our capabilities, so hopefully they'll survive. Ooh. I didn't realize that we got something that was boosting our slowing capability, because that's amazing for Aizen, because he's got several things that could cause slow. That's definitely very good for us.
So she's the same sort of Moloch as Bienfu?
You're Grimoire, right? We've been looking for you. We need your help. Who are you? I'm Velvet. I know your witch friend. Oh.
Grim, so wonderful to see you. It's been forever!
Ah, you two. Still as outlandish a pair as ever, I see.
How exactly do you know her?
Which training? She was an upperclassman.
And?
We found this fascinating ancient tome, and we were hoping you could read it for us.
Goodness, Magilu. You, of all people, joining a team? I didn't know you had it in you.
That kept me entertained.
Well, I don't need entertainment.
Bien! Come on, Grim! Isn't there any way you can help us?
It's not the kind of thing I do.
What a shame. Things happen. Well, we tried, didn't we?
Maybe you need some incentivizing. Do it. I'm serious. I bet you are. Your eyes tell me you're dangerous. Trouble follows you like a hawk tails a rabbit. And at my age, trouble is something I'd rather avoid.
How old are you?
Ask me again and you'll get a firework in the tush.
My apologies.
It appears we've wasted our time.
A walk on the beach is never wasted, but sorry.
Well, how did you learn to read the ancient tongue? Are there books for studying it or something?
My. Are you actually thinking of learning it on your own?
Well, I love reading, and I want to learn more about history. Besides, we need what's in this book.
You have passion, child, I'll give you that.
Not to mention you want to be helpful to Velvet, don't you, kid? Yeah.
My tuition isn't cheap, you know.
You will teach me?
No, I won't. But I admire your dedication enough to read it for you. Now where's this book?
Here it is, ma'am.
You needn't be so formal.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Not ma'am. Right.
Let's see what we're looking at here. The language of ancient Averost. Had to be the hard one, of course. A lot of wear and tear, too. This'll take some time. We're in a hurry.
That may well be, but this isn't the place for study. Let's move to someplace more comfortable.
You've redeemed yourself, young man. There's a village called Haria just a little ways away.
That works. Thank you.
Fine. Haria Village. Whatever gets the job done.
So, a couple things to discuss. That page-turning sound effect is in, like, so many games. I was just thinking about it from the stock sound effects standpoint. So, it seems like Laphicet is able to win over Grimoire, at least, so we're not without a translator. Also, because I killed with Aizen, look at his level difference between him and everybody else in the rest of the party. Like, look at Eleanor, and then just look at Aizen. That's not even fair, chat. He's over-leveled so much, he has more health than Velvet. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. That is saying Grimoire is amazing. She's pretty good. So I just want to make sure we get that out of the way, because we have one more skit.
Isn't that the village with that demon that Oscar and Teresa were talking about?
I think it might be. We should remain on our guard.
So I wanted to make sure that they said that before I began the skit, because I think it would interrupt it and it would not show up again. Let's collect the gold, and now we'll begin the other skit.
I apologize if I'm being rude, but I have to ask. You're not Aminoch the Empyrean, are you?
Of course I'm not. What would even make you ask such a thing?
A shop in Isolt was selling Aminoch figurines that looked just like you.
Oh, that. I distinctly remember whispering to the shopkeeper in his sleep, telling him not to sell those things.
You showing up in his dreams probably only convinced him you were the real deal. You should sue for his use of your likeness and get proper compensation from that shopkeeper.
Forget it. It's no concern.
Yeah, you're right. It's not like they'd ever sell anyway.
Oh, you think a figurine of mine wouldn't sell?
You got this whole somber ennui thing going on. A figurine needs to be cute, like me.
Then how about I turn you into a product?
Me? Really?
Oh yes. I'll have you stuffed and mounted. But since it'd be a unique piece, I'd have to price it a bit higher.
Mounted? No, count me out!
Oh, you're no fun. Now, what was it we were talking about?
Whether or not you are the Empyrean Aminoch.
Ah, yes, that's right. I'm no Empyrean. I'm just a simple girl. It would be hard for anyone to worship an Empyrean like me, right?
That's true. I mean, it just seems like you're the type who can see through anything, so perhaps an Empyrean seems less intimidating from a certain point of view.
You're saying I'm scarier than an Empyrean?
Not scarier exactly, just more of a savvy sort of woman.
That's not a bad answer, but it won't get you out of the doghouse.
Oh, Eleanor. Barely saving herself there. I'm sure the chat would not mind Bienfu being stuffed and mounted. Just forever removed from the game, chat. So we're taking a small little detour, as we could see to the south. We could go to, I believe they said it was Haria Village, and continue with the research of the book there, but we're gonna do a code red first. Let's make sure we save. How's our blast gauge doing? Absolutely terrible. Well, let's see how we do with no blast gauge, chat. Hey Kirk, how's it going?
Are we ready for this?
Oh, sorry, was I doing 0 damage on some of those hits? Oh no. Oh, because she's blocking. I was gonna say, that's kind of scary. So I think we got 2 different glacites. If we manage to beat this, we'll look at both of the glacites. Man, this character's focus is very high. I don't know if we'll be able to stun or not stun. I don't know if we'll be able to cause status ailments, chat. Oh, actually, speaking of which, sorry, one more pause. For an absorb health move, at least this hits Beast, but honestly, I prefer Searing Edge because it's cheaper and it causes a status ailment I actually care about. The only difference is I would probably pick Moonlight Cyclone over Swallow Dance because I absolutely do not like any move in the game that puts you in the air. Because one thing to keep in mind, chat, is that if you're in the air, you cannot tag swap. So if you start getting comboed, you're basically done for. And you also can't Mystic Art until you touch the ground, which is very annoying with moves like Swallow Dance. So if you're wondering why I don't use the Wind weakness that has Winged, it's because this move is really bad in this kind of game. It's just very bad. I do not like using it. Which is why, like, if I have to use Wind, I'll use the much more expensive Shadow Flow, because at least it'll cause defense down and stun, which are 2 of the most important things that I'm looking for. Oh, I actually managed to cause the burn status ailment there. That was nice. Might as well get some damage. Unfortunately, nobody else has Blast Gauge. Oh, actually, Luffy set did. Oops. Oh. Why is she running forward? Oh, I put it on auto again by accident. I'm like, wait a minute. Oops, I did it again. I'm like, no. I don't want her on auto. Don't approach us, Magilu. What is going on with my spells? Did it not set it from last time? Oh, yeah, I guess it didn't set it from last time. I was gonna say, because we got Blood Moon. I thought I did this between streams, so I didn't have to do that, but that's fine. I prefer the enemy to not be chasing me as Magilu. Yeah, Blood Moon is pretty good, as you can see. It's fairly fast cast, and it's a nice short AoE. Oh, the boss is wide open, chat. Okay, I gotta recover some SG. Wow, Rokuro died instantly. Well, this is bad. Oh, that is really bad. I was not thinking I would get clipped by that. That's very unfortunate. Poor Aizen. You know what, chat? I want them to get levels. It's not that I can't beat it without the life bottle, but I'd really prefer them not to fall too far behind, honestly speaking. It's bad enough Eleanor is down like a bazillion levels. Yeah, I have to be careful. I remember that little torpedo attack doing like a bazillion damage on this difficulty. So we do have to be a little more cautious. And unfortunately, I think Laphicet is also not spamming his half damage abilities, which would be very useful here. I'm literally not able to hurt this boss as Laphicet. It's kind of sad. Growl, Rokuro. I just revived you. Please last longer. I think the AI is going to refuse to survive, chat. I'm going to have to take manual control of some of these characters. See, the tornado part is actually kind of hard to dodge, and I think I just got unlucky against Hellgate. Honestly, I just feel like if I had, if I dodged sideways instead of back, I think I would have been fine. Why am I not able to use Life Bottle? Oh, I selected the wrong character, that's why. Duh. Yeah, like, as I said before, some of these bosses are not really too difficult, but if you're playing on Chaos like I am, which is not normally how you can reach this part of the game, these fights are actually probably some of the hardest. Aizen, I'm trying really hard to make sure everybody survives, but you are doing your best to die. I don't appreciate it. Wait, Eleanor, or not Eleanor, Makilu. Actually had something there. It's hurricane time, chat. Man, that is just so good at building stun. It just makes no sense. Like, did you hear how many times he stunned that boss? Either he's stunning the boss or causing focus down, which just causes me to get more stuns slash pretty much everything else. Man, Rokuro, you're so busted. Yeah, chat, when in doubt, just Rokuro it out. Honestly, just keep thrusting, chat. It makes no sense. Oh, I mistimed my counter. That was actually kind of dangerous. I could have died there. Chat, I am trying really hard to make sure that they actually can survive, but they are eating all my life bottles. I don't appreciate this. I might have to end this battle, because if I draw this out too much, I could actually die as Rokuro. Let's look give Aizen the level.
Killing flash, but I'm this close. I won't miss. Form 0. Thunder.
I tried, chat.
Be proud. You made me unleash.
Oh wait, these battles don't give experience. Oops, I forgot about that, chat. My bad. I shouldn't have wasted any life bottles. I probably could have just beaten that with just Rokuro, honestly. See, the thing with Rokuro is just like, some moves are kind of hard to evade because you have to evade it a very specific way. Like, you have to do like down and then to the right, or like down and to the left, or double down back on some of the multi-hit moves. And sometimes I forget which one is the one I should be doing, so if I mess up on this difficulty, I'll just die. Whereas, like, with Rokuro, anytime I can evade, I could just substitute that with a counter. So I can evade once into a counter, so I get a soul from backdashing, for example, and then also still counter. So we got through it eventually. So let's take a look at the Glaciite that we attained. So Terrestrial Glaciite was one of the ones that we got. So it just gives us additional damage capabilities versus those different monsters. Not too bad. And I think this was the other one we just got, the Preserver's Glaciate, which causes us to take less damage. This one's kind of an interesting one because normally this amount is pretty pitiful on most difficulties. But more importantly, there are certain abilities that trigger if you're high on health. And normally when you block or when you evade, you take a very reduced amount of damage. I think that can reduce that damage to 0. We'll experiment with that, chat, later on. We'll take the art defense 3, though. Look at that art defense, chat. Laphicet is just becoming the tank he always was meant to be. So yeah, chat. Honestly speaking, if you want to have the most unbalanced multiplayer combo, it does not involve Velvet. It involves Aizen and Rokuro. You have one player just constantly Hurricane thrusting for the stun and focus down, and then Aizen is just allowed to have free reign with your wide open. It's quite a nasty multiplayer combo. If you just want to breeze through the game, that is probably my recommended combo. They could deal with anything. Like, you could even stall with spells just for Rokuro. Like, it's just so unfair, chat. Most bosses can't do anything against that strategy in co-op. Oh, we got a Peach Gel. I guess that's okay. Yeah, Hurricane Huff, chat. Hurricane Huff. Always gotta cancel that Hurricane Thrust. Don't let him say Thrust. Just cancel it with the counter. It's fine.
That's Haria Village.
To the inn, one and all!
So yeah, chat, you can see we picked up about 4-ish red herbs. So this area is not bad if you're looking for a place to get some herbs. Usually this place resets for me, so this is not a bad backup if I can't get the woods later on. And we'll give Laphicet additional focus. Also, you could tell that I was pumping Aizen's focus a lot in the previous playthrough, because it should not be at 130. I will let you know, it should absolutely not be at 130. But, we'll put it on Laphicet. Soon, chat. Soon he will become a god. It'll all make sense why he has the stat bonuses much later in the game. Right now, he's, like, okay in combat. He's probably, like... I would say he's mediocre at the moment. He doesn't have any, like, big AoE spell, which I think is really holding him back. But the moment he starts getting his late-game spells... Oh, what a monster, chat. That little boy could take on everybody. Garish pink shirt. Speaking of which, I was gonna say, I feel like I mastered something. So I'm actually gonna tell the Castile swap to go to, Eleanor, that way she gets the +2 there. But is there anything else that Velvet needs? I don't think she does need anything else. Yeah. See, I'd prefer just things that give raw focus, but I guess if I had to pick another element, I guess I could do... one of these, because these are not different focus-wise. I think I'd rather have... Actually, no. Now it's the question of, do I want slightly more damage or more blast gauge? I think I want more blast gauge from the Floric Boots. Everything else is just kind of okay at the moment. So just making sure that Magilu has nothing else to learn from down here. It looks like she's doing pretty good. So we can move her to the Garish pink shirt we just learned. This gives attack and focus, which is kind of risky to put on Magilu, to be honest. Kind of risky. I think Midi Blouse gives way more focus, and this is kind of my preferred outfit at this point in the game. But we'll get her more absorb health effect for arts, which I don't even remember if she has any. Honestly, chat, there's a lot of weird ones where you could get bonuses to moves they don't have. But we'll do it for completion's sake. Oh, he mastered a little bit of everything there, chat. Oh, this might explain why some of them are exploding. He's got an outfit that gives absolutely no defense. See, this is like Velvet's dream armor. This is also pretty good on Rokuro, because I feel like the two of them can afford to just dump all their defense to 0. I don't feel like Aizen has that luxury because he's kind of a glass cannon who really, really, really would prefer focus if there's going to be an armor that grants anything. But it is what it is. So we'll switch him over to this one. So at least he has more defense now, I guess. But his wide open is now weaker. Oh, wait a minute. What is this? Equipment learning skill 14%? Okay, not bad to get early. We got this, I think, from the shop rare, because you can see that there's such a large gap between our items. I'm pretty sure we got this just by selling a lot of items. Now, if we're really lucky, when we get the ability to get the pumper upper to +5, hopefully we could get the equipment drop rate plus 35%, because this is a great item to go back to later in the game, especially if you're doing arenas for items. Stacking those kinds of abilities are very good for us. Alright, so we lose a little bit of focus, which is kind of unfortunate, but it makes him a lot tankier overall, so this might be kind of worth it. We're good to go now. More power to the Little King. Very true, Chris. Yeah, the AI in Berseria, the chat was talking about, like, Eleanor dying all the time. So the AI in Berseria is generally pretty good. One thing that kind of sucks, though, is that they will only kind of start going dodge crazy if they are slightly wounded. Because if you take a look at the strategy, if you look at, like, some of these where you have, like, balanced versus be aggressive, I think the issue is that because I have characters like Eleanor and Rokuro always on the attack, that means they're also less likely to block. But if you were to choose them for them to be defensive or defense only, honestly, they survive like almost forever. So if I really just want the AI to survive, I could just swap this strategy to be more defensive. Generally speaking, they will never fail to dodge if you do that. It can be quite silly at times, because I've had like Laphicet dodge like 8 or 9 different spells in a row, like from multiple targets simultaneously, and I'm like, sure, that's totally realistic to do. Rumors in Haria Village.
From what we heard in Iseult, demons are attacking villages, and more people are growing upset with the Abbey. So I hadn't expected things in Haria Village to be so laid back.
They might be on their best behavior because you're accompanied by an exorcist.
Huh. I didn't know you could see the world in more than just black and white.
The Abbey wouldn't entrust my responsibilities to someone who couldn't see beyond the surface. I have seen many things in my work. I've beheld both the light and the darkness in the world of men. Despite that, no, because of that, I won't turn away from the wrongs that I encounter. Moreover, I have faith. I believe there is good in all our souls.
The darkness, huh?
Yes, like you.
You're awfully direct.
Like the silence of Haria Village. I think we'll restock on life bottles when we get the chance, but we're here kind of at, I'm not gonna say nighttime, we're more here at sunset. And I saw a little red herb I don't want to forget about. This one I always forget to double check whenever I'm running back and forth looking for red herbs. Kind of in a weird spot. So health-wise, I think I've been pumping Aizen's base health, and where that's from his level ups, but we'll continue to give it to Laphicet. We need him to become the tank god, chat. Definitely in things like the bonus dungeon. I will almost only be using Laphicet just because of how silly powerful he is. Speaking of which, we just got another attack +3. There you go, Laphicet. Enjoy. You're now as strong as Rokuro, because of course you are. And I see yet another cat chest. So make sure if you want to get all the dialogue, make sure not to rush to the inn or anything like that, because you will miss a lot. Let's chat with the young fisherman. He goes, "This is bad. Another day I've come home empty-handed." Fisherman's lover says, "Used to cast a couple nets and come back with a full boat. How could this be happening?" Less fish to catch, chat. Doesn't sound good for Haria Village. Seems like I'm slightly out of inventory space, but never fear. gonna check around over here because I feel like there's just an easy chest. We'll pick it up while we're exploring. Normally, I would say if you're playing the game and you just want to get slightly more experience or grade in an encounter, I do like the dark bottles a lot, but since we're just going for plot at the moment, I will not use the dark bottles, which just cause more enemies to spawn in. Well, I see where the last chest is, so I might as well grab it since I've seen it on screen. It'd be weird to not pick it up if I've acknowledged where it was, so we'll go grab it. I got some fragments, not too bad. What do you have to say? You travelers, if you're looking for a place to stay, the big building by the sea is it. Hello, nameless villager. Weapon dealer. Well, what exactly did you expect from a village like this? Well, we got something called Gatling Arms, which gives a crazy high amount of focus. Honestly, to me, that is a very interesting item. And it improves slowing capability. What a great thing to have on Aizen. So it seems like most of these we have already, which is fine. We'll buy them anyway, because we're going to be junking items. Oh, Feather Light Steps. I forgot which one this was. We actually did want this. Oops. So this item is quite amazing, chat. So not only does it give a decent amount of focus and physical attack power, which is great on all the ladies, but the master skill is we are invulnerable for 3 seconds at the start of battle. And also, you might have noticed the enhancement bonus, -1 mystical art blast gauge cost while invulnerable. So technically, if you stack enough of the invulnerable equipment together, you could get to a point where you end up with like 12 to 18 seconds of invulnerability. So if you get a stun and then mystic art, it only costs 2 blast gauge, which is very silly. Much later in the game, it is very silly to have mystic arts cost much less. Oh, we'll get rid of the mellow fluid. Hello there, what do you have to say? Townswoman says, maybe we should ask the Abbey to help search. It looks like young villagers replying versus the sun there. Oh no, it is the little... I guess it is the sun. If they start sniffing around my mom, it could end up making matters worse. Strange, strange, strange. If I remember correctly, I think the other skit is beneath us. Although, I guess we can't just walk off the side. Yeah, I see who we're supposed to talk. Oh, I remember what this skit is. Okay. I recall, chat. This one is a reference to other Tales games. It's kind of like an ongoing joke. So if you don't understand it now, it'll make more sense when we play more Tales games. Where are you at? Here you are.
I can't deal with this anymore.
What's the matter?
Everyone's sick of all these fruit-flavored gels, right? So, I made gels using the giant cacao beans only found here on this island. It gave them a nice bitter chocolate taste. But people complained that they weren't avant-garde enough. Ugh, chocolate-flavored gels, how prosaic, bah! This got me fuming! So I caught some maiden bonita fish you find around here, ground them up, and made some gels with them.
You put fish into chocolate gels?
Well, people do braise meat with chocolate. Chocolate and fish may go surprisingly well together.
Exactly! It was the discovery of a century. The bonito flakes crunchiness and the gel's gumminess made for an exquisitely bad combo, which made it interesting.
So if you made an innovative new type of gel, why are you so angry?
That's exactly my problem. I outdid myself. Now I need to make my Gels World debut as amazing as they are. So I thought up the ultimate plan.
And that is?
I'll put my Choconito gels in toilets all over the world. I'll call it the Great Choconito Toilet Gambit. No one will go to the bathroom without finding my gels. I think everyone will have a lot of fun. So, genius, right?
Yeah, it's weird, but I think it's funny too.
Right? I knew that kids would get it.
Who's a kid?
But all the adults in my village called it silly and lowbrow. They forbade me from selling my Choconito gels at all. Isn't that just horrible?
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Aw, man. Things used to be so much better. Mom would make me dinner, and all I had to do was goo 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 ga, and everyone would smile and praise me.
I don't want to become the kind of grown-up who can't find any fun in looking for gels in toilets.
Gels belong in the toilet, says Insistent Boy. You agree with me, right? We'll be seeing quite a few Tales games where there are gels in the toilet for no adequately explained reason, so this is just kind of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge to that. I remember scouring, in particularly Tales of Destiny, every toilet, because one of the first toilets you come across in the game gives you, I think it's an apple gel, or the equivalency thereof. Toilet gels, chat, toilet gels. It got deep for a moment. Oh, chat. Oh, I want to go to the other side of this. We'll do a regular save here. Why not? We earned it. I'm gonna not go into the inn. Ooh, man, chat. We're almost below 4,000 cat souls. That's crazy. The cats didn't even give us anything. What a disappointment. I think they give you items based off of the number you open versus the location they are, if I'm not mistaken. But usually I always catch them in the same order. So genuinely speaking, there's always like a gap of 1. So I'm just assuming that's the case. Villager says, we don't get many visitors here. I'm not sure why you've come, but there's nothing much of interest here. Oh, we forgot to speak to this gentleman. Good thing we noticed him. We would have missed the dialogue. Young man says, should we really be trading our traditions for a bit of security? Listen to yourself. What use are traditions if you're not alive to enjoy them? You say it, man to young man. Now we're ready to go inside. I will just casually steal from the inn. Don't worry about me, chat. It's all mine. I was gonna say, does the inn only have one room, or is it just assumed that, like, there's a hallway you don't have to navigate through?
We could use a place to stay. Any rooms open?
Yep. Just finished cleaning, in fact. You can help yourself to that room there.
Oh, I guess it's just a single
Time
room.
to start deciphering this scroll.
Let's wait somewhere outside so Grim can concentrate.
Do you think maybe I could stay and watch? I really do want to study the ancient tongue. I promise I'll be quiet and not get in your way, teacher.
What did you just say, child?
That I'd be quiet and...
No, what did you call me?
Teacher? You said you didn't want to be called ma'am, so I thought maybe that'd work.
Yes, satisfactory. All right. I'll teach you how to read Ancient Avarost.
Thank you so much, teacher!
We'll leave you two alone then. Let us know if anything comes up.
Oh, that was quick. I thought there was going to be a little more to that cutscene. But we have additional conversations to go see, so we're going to make sure we do those first. After we collect more cooking supplies. I was just looking at our money total. That's so silly, chat. I think before we head to the dungeon after this, I'm going to do some very quick blacksmithing. I'm not going to do disenchanting because that would be a waste of your time, but I would like to at least upgrade a little bit, just because we are on a fairly long tour to the dungeon. I'm just surveilling what we could do. If there's any conversation resets I should be aware of. Doesn't look like it. Actually, I forgot to see what happens if we try to walk through the red door. What happens if we try to leave here? Which is where we need to go to eventually. We can't do much until everything is deciphered. What a shame. We'll just get some minor upgrades. It looks like we have some of our silver being tied up by other party members, which is a bit unfortunate. Again, we want to make sure to get that damage against stun foes up, because that does help with the bosses quite a lot. Also, I would just like to say, ooh, when we get to this weapon, it'd be fun using that. So this should improve our overall damage. And she'll have to use some of these weapons at some point anyway, so we should be good here. I don't think I really missed anything. I'll double check. I think we're doing good. We'll talk with Magilu first, and then I'm gonna wrap around.
Banning local religions. The Abbey sure knows how to oppress the populace.
I'd imagine that comes part and parcel with spreading the good word. Other gods would only get in the way.
From what we overheard, it sounds like they've taken over Amenoch's temple, Palamedes, to use as their base of operations.
Sealing it off would be provocative enough, but straight up taking it over? Not a lot of so-called reason to that. Unless... Do you think they need it for some other purpose?
Shrug.
Shrug. Way back in ancient times, people everywhere worshipped the elemental Empyreans, including Amenoch. But I guess things go in and out of fashion for gods and humans alike. We'll save Eleanor for last, I think. Let's make sure we grab those optional skits while we're here.
Do you plan on just giving up? Palamedes is Amenoch's temple. The priestess isn't the only one whose job it is to protect that temple. It's the duty of everyone born in this village.
Why did the Abbey need Amenoch's temple badly enough to risk causing this much unrest?
But how will we protect our village from the demons if the Abbey abandons us? Besides, we won't be able to do business with the people of Isolt anymore.
Our faith in Amenoch has nothing to do with the demons. When the priestess gets back, I'm going with her to protest.
The demon blight changed everything. Will we never be able to return to the way things were?
The way things were.
Uh-oh, the way things were, chat. Devout Man says, I miss the old days. Remember the festivals for Amenoch, don't you? I miss how Mahina led us in singing and dancing all night. Pragmatic Man responds with, those days are gone. Now it's time for us to follow the rules of the Abbey. Please, don't do anything rash. A Mahina, chat.
Listen, I don't know what they told you in Isolt, but our village has its own traditions. This village is under the divine protection of the Empyrean Amenoch. For unbroken centuries, a line of his priestesses have guided us. They're tasked with performing the sacred rites of worship. And sometimes, they even deliver us his words and will.
And there's still a priestess today?
Of course. And her daughter is training to become our next priestess. Although, I sometimes feel they push themselves too hard. Both mother and daughter are giving their all for Haria. But the Abbey doesn't care about any of that. And they stole our temple from us.
By force?
An exorcist named Teresa came and heard us out. But from the very beginning, she always intended on taking our temple. Her words may have been kind, but that doesn't change the fact that she demanded that we worship her god, Inominat. In all the years we've worshipped Amenoch, not once did we ever try to force others to adopt our beliefs.
Why haven't I seen this priestess she's talking about?
Olvin asks the question I was about to state. All Mahina did was try to defend the freedom and traditions of her village. So we've heard about Mahina from one group. Now we've heard a different group say that she used to be the head priest. It sounds like she and Teresa were at odds because Teresa wanted them to stop worshipping multiple gods and only worship a Nominat.
So she digs being called teacher. Well played, Laphicet.
She wasn't so fond of ma'am, so I guess he figured he needed an alternative.
You can tell how badly he wanted to help her with the languagey work. I think our Malak boy's finally finding himself.
So it would seem.
Rokro further explains, humans and Malakim are really the same. Sounds pretty strange coming from a demon like me, huh? Little chuckle to it, chat. Actually, looks like we won't be doing Eleanor last, as I forgot to talk to the other person.
What connection do you think there is between the violent demon Teresa mentioned and this village?
Couldn't tell you.
Could there have been a demon blight breakout here? This village doesn't look like it's been attacked, but...
Whatever it is. If it keeps the Abbey's eyes off us for once, that's good enough for me.
You really will use anything and everything toward your own aims, won't you?
Yep, and that includes you. As I'm sure you've noticed.
Oh, Narcissus, still, something curious is going on. A demon in Haria.
It sounds like deciphering the text might take some time.
We should be prepared to wait it out here a while. Hopefully it'll all be worth it in the end.
I hope so too. But ancient Avarost is complex. It's not just a matter of knowing the grammar and vocabulary.
Oh? Then how exactly do you read it?
I'm not sure about the specifics myself, but from what I understand, you kind of have to intuit a lot of it.
A language based on guesswork? Thanks, old dead people. You're officially the worst.
Oh, Velvet. Never change. Oh, we didn't get a follow-up conversation with Eisen there.
Oh, ancient Avarost. You have the obstinacy of a spurned lover who refuses to move on.
Even for you, teacher?
It's this one crucial line. I can't wrap my head around it.
Well, from what you've taught me so far, it looks like it says... Saw, Popo, Mucho, Sanchon.
Correct, but if you merely translate it word for word, it ends up saying, the parent hates tomatoes, the child eggplants.
I doubt those have much to do with Innominat. Yeah.
Their grammar is nothing like ours. Sometimes you have to reorder the words, and even then the meaning can require leaps of logic and flashes of intuition.
Reordering? So like... San-san, Pocho Pocho, Pocho Musan, Pocho Musan. Can you read it that way?
Pocho Musan. Now where did you get that from?
These words are lined up, like they repeat. And when I read this part that same way, it just felt right.
Pocho Musan. If that's repeated here, then the passage turns into... the Nameless Empyrean.
Empyrean!
Ho ho, that has to refer to Innominat. I think we're on to something. Alright, so if we apply this rule here, then... It would seem to be a book of children's counting songs.
It's not about Innominat?
What matters is what the song says, child. And I think you will be very interested in the words.
That is saying thanks, old
I wonder if
dead
they've made
people.
any progress yet.
Shall we go check on them?
Oh, we missed an opportunity to talk to Eisen again, chat. That's a shame. It just immediately cutscened us. How unfortunate. I don't think there's anything else we've missed here in terms of dialogue. I'm just making sure because those skits are pretty easy to miss. If you don't do them there, they just kind of fade away. Chris is saying there's issues with the stream. I'm not seeing any spikes on my end. It looks green. Innkeeper says, we can't offer the latest modern amenities, but nothing beats the sound of waves to lull you to sleep. I know, Luffy set for cryptologist god tier. Good point, Kirk.
Well, any results? Yes. Well, thanks to the boy here. As it turns out, he has quite the knack for languages.
Only because I've got the best teacher.
Careful, honey tongue. You'll give this old girl ideas. Huh? Now, child, I'm sure they're curious about the song we unearthed. Why don't you read it aloud?
Yes, teacher.
Song?
8-headed is the lord of the land, with 7 mouths to devour malevolence. Through pulses of earth doth base nature's flow, as he awaits the time of awakening. 4 Empyreans may tear him asunder, but so long as there is one receptive to divine power, Therians shall be forever reborn, in sight of the full crimson moon. The nameless Empyrean hath one heart. The nameless Empyrean hath one body.
Therians? Essentially, this ancient text you found is an annotated volume of drawings and songs pertaining to Enominat. Annotated? Then hurry up and just tell us what it means.
I'm sorry. So far, we've only figured out how to read the song lyrics.
All right.
I take it we're still in for a good long wait before it's thoroughly decrypted.
Likely so, but if we want to find out what the Abbey is up to, we need to know what's in this book, no matter how long it takes.
What the Abbey's up to, is it? I think we can learn much, even from the lyrics alone. The drawings depict him with 8 heads. One of them belongs to his main body, but the other 7 are his mouths. Those mouths consume malevolence, sending it along Earth pulses back to that main body so he can awaken. The 7 monsters fitting that description are called
Therians.
Right. Now as for this malevolence, I have no idea what that means.
What about the second part?
I haven't studied much ancient history, but it said this world was created by 4 Empyreans: Earth, Water, Wind, and Fire. But they also call Enominat an Empyrean. Perhaps a war broke out between Enominat and the other Empyreans that resulted in him being sealed away.
But if there is someone to connect with this divine power, the Therians will keep spawning. And just like that, Enominat will be revived. If we assume that Shepherd Artorius fits that bill, and that he's trying to reawaken Enominat, everything lines up.
Which means our job is to find these Therians and cut off Enominat's heads, so to speak.
But where do we even start looking for them?
Remember, the song states that the Therians in Enominat's body are connected through Earth pulses. If their job is to feed Enominat, the most effective place to position them would be at the Earth pulse points.
Points?
The places where the power of Earth pulses is concentrated.
Places with that sigil. Hey, remember the barrier that was keeping this bug in the forest?
Wait, are you trying to say that thing's a Therian? And yet, it would explain why the Abbey was keeping it locked up.
And there was that same barrier at the villa, too.
That's right. Do you suppose that was also a Therian? Does that mean the Therians all come in different forms?
Should we go to Logres and check?
We've just started deciphering the book. I'd hate to lose time on some fool's errand. I'd rather know at least a little more about what's in it before we make a move.
Something bothering you, Grim?
This line. The one about Therians being forever reborn.
I just felt the same thing as I did in Warg Forest.
The needle's pointing in the direction of Amenoch's temple, Palamedes. Do I recall hearing that the Abbey took that over?
Temples and ritual sites are often built on places thought to be rich in spiritual energy. Could the temple possibly be an Earth Pulse point?
There's lots of Earth pulse points scattered all over the world. If there's only 7 Therians, most of them will be empty.
It's not like we have any better leads. If there's even a chance, shouldn't we go check it out?
Better than sitting around waiting on the book. If nothing else, we'll find out what Laphicet is sensing. Just a theory, but if you were to kill a Therian... What? I guess there's only one way to find out. Never mind. Good luck out there.
Kill a Therian, chat. I see chat is very happy to see Rhino Stagros making another guest appearance. Actually, talk to Grimoire. Says, I'll keep up the deciphering work on my own. You'll all go see if there's a clue in the temple. We'll need it to see it for ourselves if we're after the truth. Hello, little boy. Sessa Boy says, hey, did you get any exorcist cards? Peddler says, they sell so quick, they're hard to come by, but I did find one for you. Here. Yes! Time to open it up and, a rank 1 Bienfu. I got my hopes up for nothing. Bien! There you go, chat. Oh, she had another conversation. There's no telling the truth until you've seen it with your own eyes. There we go. Not even the little boy wants Bienfu. Cat is very happy to see that. Even the game agrees with you. Okay, so we have Palamedes to the north. We know that was the name of a temple. That originally was worshipping Amenosh. See if we could get some more background on it. Townswoman says, it wasn't a bad deal. We gave up the temple, but now this little village is protected. I know that, but that might also be the reason that Mahina and her daughter disappeared. Ooh, chat, we have a little bit of intrigue. So the head priest and the daughter are missing. Oh no, chat. Boy says, whoa, outsiders, weird. I wish I could show Kamoana. I'm sure she would have been happy. Where did she go anyway? So I think we can infer that the little girl that is missing is Kamoana and is the daughter of the high priest.
Select cuts of the finest meats.
Abby supporting shopkeeper says, the village isn't much, but our food is the freshest. We also offer special gifts to the Abbey faithful. Okay, so he has no new dialogue. That's fine. Oh, there's more dialogue to be had here. Hello, Abbey supporting man. You don't understand. We have nothing to do with the priestess. The past is the past. We now seek the blessing of the Empyrean Innominat. There's an abbey camp at Palamedes beyond the village's far gate, but to get there you have to pass through all the perils of Manon Reef. It's no trip for ordinary folk, says the soldier. Well, chat, we are in for a very long and winding tour to go ahead and reach that dungeon, so that is going to be something. I feel like this is one of the longest paths in the game. Fortunately, you could get shortcuts later. But oh boy, chat, trying to complete this might take a while.
Who are you?
The innkeeper's daughter. I happened to overhear you all talking about going to Palamedes and...
Did you report us to the Abbey?
Report? But you already have an exorcist with you.
If you have any business, talk with her then.
I'm Eleanor Hume, an exorcist with the Abbey. How might I be of service?
I want you to look for someone. A mother and her child went to visit the Abbey grounds, but they haven't returned.
They've both gone missing?
Yes. The mother's name is Mahina. She's a priestess of Amenoch. And her little daughter's name is Kamoana.
Hold on. If she's a priestess of Amenoch...
Right. Ever since the Abbey booted her out from the temple, she's been regularly going back to make her objections heard. But one day, she never returned home. And now her daughter has disappeared too. I can only assume that she went to go look for her mother.
And you believe they're being held at the temple?
Oh, no, ma'am. I just can't imagine Mahina would abandon her daughter like that. Kamoana is next in line to succeed her, so she's had a strict upbringing, but her mother truly loves her. Please forgive Mahina for her protests. I was just hoping you could use the Abbey's resources to track them down.
I will do everything in my power to find them.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Like Kamoana, I grew up with only my mother as family. I can't help but worry for them.
Of course.
Let's be off, Miss Exorcist.
Okay, chat. We now have an additional... I'm not gonna say moral intrigue, but we have an additional intrigue about the missing priestess and the daughter, Kamoana.
Eleanor, what's your game here?
The mother and daughter, you mean? That's on me. I'll search for them myself.
I don't care about that.
Well, what then?
Why are you actively helping us decipher the book, when we're using it to thwart the Abbey's plans?
You think I might be deliberately misleading you? Laying a trap of some sort for you all?
Are you?
I think you're a lot of things, Demon. But foolish is not one of them. I want to know the truth. I want to know what Lord Artorias is trying to accomplish. And there's something happening in the world right now. I want to know what it is. Unfortunately, little old Eleanor has never been deemed trustworthy enough to be given such information. So, my only option is to find out for myself.
You've got the soul searching down at least.
The Abbey and your band of rogues follow two different paths. But something tells me either will lead me to the same destination.
And so you don't see any need to lie to us?
Exactly.
And what'll you do if those truths don't line up cleanly with what you believe?
I'm not sure yet.
As honest an answer as any. Either way, it looks like you'll be working with us for the near future.
Yes, for now.
Hey, could I ask you something?
What is it?
About the Therians. I've heard you call yourself a Therian before. Is there any particular insight you have about them?
No, none. Artorias said I was one, that's all.
And that doesn't bother you?
Does it bother you?
Nope, not at all. If you're not worried, then neither am I.
I'm surrounded by freaks.
Oh, Velvet.
But was that truly the reason Ceres chose me?
Total opposites.
Velvet keeps picking on Madame Eleanor. They're total opposites, so I know they're just gonna clash sometimes, but Velvet takes it too far!
You really think they're totally opposite?
If Madame Eleanor is a white lily, then Velvet is a black rose. If Madame Eleanor is a soaring Pegasus, then Velvet is a wolf in the shadows. If Madame Eleanor is a plate of spaghetti carbonara, Velvet is squid ink noodles with seaweed.
I don't follow you completely, but I think I get the point.
I'm sure you understand. The two have nothing at all in common. And since they don't share anything in common, some fighting now and then just can't be helped.
Well, they both have beautiful hair.
Okay, but we're talking a noble exorcist and an aloof demon.
Eleanor sometimes treats you coldly. And Velvet has helped me more times than I can count.
Madame Eleanor gives herself fully to the salvation of others, but Velvet is bent solely on revenge.
That means they're both motivated by thoughts of others.
How is the cheerful and talkative Madame Eleanor at all the same as the brooding, taciturn Velvet?
Both of them talk to me when it's just the two of us together.
You're just trying to be contrary.
I'm only telling you what I've experienced.
Actually, I feel that Madame Eleanor isn't really reaching out to me.
It's all right if Eleanor doesn't want to talk to you. I'm here for you, Bienfu. You aren't alone.
That just makes me feel lonelier.
You two are opposites yourselves.
Huh?
I think the chat agrees that Laffy said is the opposite of Bien Phu, and I think the comparison the chat would say, I would imagine, would be people like Laffy said, people hate Bien Phu. Oh, speaking of which, I never actually set up the Cyclone Dart skill. I'll force Rokurou to use it. Or he'll just choose not to use it. Okay. Well, at least use it on what you're fighting. I'm honestly not sure why he's not using it. Usually when you force them to use a skill like that, they will actually use it. I'll have to manually do this later. But one other thing I want to point out, we got an additional art called Illusory Veil. So keep in mind too that it says to self and all allies in range grants 1.5 seconds of vulnerability the next time an art hits them. This can actually be used to reduce the Mystic Art cost as well. So in case you're not at the beginning of the battle, this is another way we could get a Mystic Art down. This spell is actually pretty good defensively speaking, so if you have Aizen and Laffy set together, they actually do mitigate a lot of damage between these two things, if they're allowed to cast it. So, I don't think we saw the Hawk before. I would like to point out that this enemy name is Dumpus, and that we're gonna fight the Sea Serpent and hopefully get another Sash. There we go, chat. Whenever you see the stun stars, always remember to stop spamming stun and to hit other moves. It does help with combos. Like there, I just got an extra soul because I did that. Always useful, chat. I think it's time to interrupt their spells with a nice old Mystic Art. Ooh, look at that damage because he's stunned. Ooh, that combo just lasts forever. I'm still attacking, chat. I'm losing a lot of health per second, but it was worth it.
She really floats like a butterfly?
Stings like a bee, and...
Wait, there's more?
Or Aizen. Oh, unfortunately we didn't get what I was looking for, but that's okay. Again, it's not like mandatory to get these. But we managed to get a few different poison wards, which is good. We probably want to not be status ailmented as long. I wanted to check one thing. Oh, Atmos Glaive is another good one. So if you're going for melee Magilu, I do actually like this move. The problem is that I didn't really use Magilu that much in the previous playthrough, so I'll try to use her a little more. I generally prefer it once she gets a few more spells, and I kind of do a mix of combat. So as I said before, chat, this dungeon is really, or not this dungeon, but this walk to the dungeon is really long, so I fully expect to be here for at least another 45 to 50 minutes. There's quite a few skits to go through. On top of that, there's another Code Red fight. On top of this just being long in general. So I'm going to try to avoid as much combat as possible, because as I said before, this is a very long place. We'll be keeping an eye out for red herbs and also the cat chest. I think when I played this on stream, I missed the cat chest the first time. I think it's on the left path, if I'm not mistaken. I got tagged in combat. My bad, chat. Well, I think we know what time it is. Oh, I got interrupted. There we go. Man, they just keep hitting me as I land. That sucks. There's nothing I can do about that when that happens. Stop that. Actually, speaking of which... Oh, I do have Kaleidos Ray set up. Yeah, the snakes are really good at removing souls from you. I have to be a little careful around them. They are quite annoying. I saw Rokuro was somehow low on health, and I found that extremely unacceptable given how good he is. I'm like, listen, I was gonna play as the little boy, but if he's gonna sit there at like 0 health, I'm not gonna accept that.
No escape! Blades of wind, slice them! Air thrust! Blast that! Eat it! We're wide open! Burn!
There we go, chat.
That was tougher than I would have liked.
Oh, we actually got the sash I was looking for. That gives us Earth Power 7%. We'll take the bonus damage. Okay, so we'll keep an eye out for items, chat. I think there's a few red herbs here, but this is a place I avoid just because I remember it taking a very long time to get through this part. So we'll do our best, chat. There should be a dead end. I mostly just want to come here to show off the souls. This is also not a bad place. If you want to leave, if you basically want to come here and then go back to the village and then come back here, this is also a pretty decent spot for souls. Honestly, there's an okay amount here. If you're just looking to get like another, let's say 60 to 80 souls to top off, this is not a bad place to do it. As we can see, there's a code red in the distance, but it'll be a little bit of time before we reach that. Chat's remarking that it's pretty. It's got nice colors to it. I'll give them that. I'm fortunate we have enough movement speed boosts that we can avoid some of these encounters. Because I feel like a lot of these the first time you're playing, especially if you haven't been beating a lot of the optional fights, you will move pretty slow, so you'll just get punished pretty often. So again, we're going to try our best to kind of avoid combat. We don't want to power level, we don't want to do anything else. We want to keep the game fairly challenging. We'll keep going at it at a decent pace. Maybe at the end of the game, we'll see if we want to clean up some of the items just to show them off. We'll see how the chat feels, or we just go straight to the bonus dungeon. Honestly though, I think the bonus dungeon might be a little too hard without any power leveling. Like, I could probably still beat the bonus bosses without power leveling, but that bonus dungeon, it'll be very interesting. So this rare chest actually gives us an interesting item with the express pendant. So chests like these are the only ones I would say that are worth kind of going towards. They're not like the common chests that just drop other items. This one says a pendant that shows the wearer the correct path to to take when faced with depravity. So if we take a look at this particular necklace, it gives us a bonus versus undead. And it also gives us bonus experience versus undead, which is extremely important for later if you want to power level. We're going to be coming up to a dungeon that has a lot of undead. So having this equip will help us much later on. So I'm actually going to hold off on touching this one until we're ready for that dungeon. I'm going to do a quick save here, because this is another fight that could kind of go either way. And I feel like my blast gauge is pretty terrible. So we'll see how it goes, chat.
A foe worth killing.
Hello, Kraken, who's immediately spellcasting on me. You have the Disruptor's Glaze Sight, and Iron Stance granted for up to 10 hits while casting, so I don't think I can interrupt this. Its weaknesses is... Oh, I've hit all of its weaknesses already. I just gotta get the stun. Oh, I went to lift it off the ground, but it just auto-blocked. Man, it is a fast spellcaster. See, I heard its weakness get hit, or I heard it get stunned, but unfortunately we didn't have the weakness combo. I'm still gonna fish for that. Oh, I was trying to tag swap and I didn't get it, chat. That was really unfortunate. I think because it lifted me in the air, it stopped me from tag swapping. Also, I forgot to buy luck medals. Now I don't have enough to swap out. This is kind of an annoying... This is a really annoying scenario. All of its attacks are lifting me. I might have to retry this fight, chat. I also forgot to get life bottles, as I was saying before. And they killed Velvet again. There's not like a quick reset either. I'm just gonna die, chat. Yeah, I'm just gonna retry. So I think the issue here is just like, I don't have any blast gauge. And also if I get juggled, I kinda die. Rokuro died at full health, that sucks. We're already at a big disadvantage. So I'm gonna try to force them to revive him. Come on, Rokuro. Do I have to tell you to be balanced? I think I have to tell them to be balanced, chat. I really, really, really need them to block. This boss is kind of insta-killing them. Well, that time I didn't get launched into the air. I think because I was in the middle of spellcasting. That's beneficial to us. One thing I don't like about this particular enemy is you can see if I get too close. If I get too close, I just get pushed backwards over time, which gets kind of annoying, to be honest. I'm gonna use her Mystic Art only because I'm out of souls, not because I'm going for damage. There we go. We'll do our best, chat. Man, I'm just not getting what I need in the combo. This boss is kind of rough. It's weird because the boss doesn't have a lot of focus, or honestly a lot of armor. It's just more that this boss is actively blocking a lot more than the other ones. Oh, almost died from that. That was close. See how quick it gets out of stun too, chat? Like, I was in the middle of comboing, and because it's so big and I can't juggle it, it just kind of auto-escapes combos, which is kind of unfortunate when that happens. We'll do our best though, chat, without any blast gauge. I think we could do it. It's just a little difficult, I would say. Okay, I wanted to interrupt that as soon as possible, so I had to tag swap there, or else it probably would have killed 2 party members. Come on, little boy, you can do it. Just stun the boss. This thing is nasty, chat. I'm forcing him to make us take half damage, so hopefully the AI respects the damage a bit more. It seems like they tagged out Aizen, which is probably for the best. As I said before, I'm just trying to stun the enemy with Laffy set as much as I can, just so that the AI has a chance to do some damage to this boss. Because every second I stall as Laffy set, that allows our other characters to get a lot of health back comparatively. Okay, there we go, chat. We finally got some decent damage on this boss. As I said before, I wanna... Oh, I got stunned. That was bad. I'm just trying to stall the boss out a little bit. As I said before, I just want to make sure I have more souls and things like that. There we go. We got it, chat. Boss is dead. Ooh. What a combo, chat.
Did you think you could escape me?
Oh, man. I had to work for that one. So the important strategy is if you're playing this on Chaos mode without getting all your buffs, stun locking that enemy, or at least getting the enemy in constant guard lock, is extremely important. So what I was trying to do there was just make sure that Laphicet was able to break Soul, because A, that interrupts all the boss's attacks, and B, it makes us take half damage. Now, as his break Soul improves, it also does things like increase the time that a boss is staggered, which is why I really like using Laphicet later on, because you could get some pretty ludicrous combos with him just due to how long enemies are stunned. So I tried to rotate through the characters as often as possible, and I needed to change them from aggressive to balanced, so that way they blocked a little more. And just that little adjustment was all that was needed to win. So I'm glad that that worked out. Now what is the Glaciate that we just earned from that? Got the Disruptor's Glaciate. 8% chance of retaining souls during Break Soul. That's actually pretty good. We can find it on hard mode or above. What a battle, chat. Yeah, we definitely had to earn that compared to other things that we have done. You know what? I'll take the thing that gives us additional focus. Focus is very important. Focus is the reason Laphicet was able to basically stunlock the boss. And keep in mind, too, that I was using the cooking skill that gives us focus 10%. So always try to have that on bosses if you're able to do the damage for it. Let's see. I think they learned some new abilities. Ooh, she's gonna lose a lot of her focus, which is kind of unfortunate, but not much that could really be done there. Laphicet already earning everything. That is actually a really tempting outfit to put on Laphicet, I'm not gonna lie. You know what, chat? Let's make Laphicet just have so much magic attack power that he just trumps everything. What a silly item. I can't wait until we get rid of this. I'm gonna dump our defense down to 0. We honestly don't really need it as Laphicet, to be honest. Like, we get a little bit of magic attack power, but I'd rather have the Feldspar paper for hidden arts. Okay, I think we're good to go, chat. I will definitely quick save that in case I die to something really silly, like a dangerous encounter. So we're having a nice little journey, chat. Hello, Sea Serpent I walked into, not paying attention. Well, fortunately, this should go pretty quick. And the reason it'll go pretty quick is that whenever I want an encounter to just end, I'll just switch to Aizen. He's like the fastest way to kill. Because other characters have cinematics, and those take too long, whereas Aizen just shouts you're wide open and then the encounter's over. I very much approve. Oh, he actually let me get the full combo on him. Speaking of which... I think I want something like... I'm gonna slightly change my pattern with this, just to benefit my combos a little easier. I very rarely have the 4th soul, where it's kind of easy for me to get to the 3rd soul one. Let me do that, because that way if I need to stomp again, I'll just hit a different button. Yeah, that's much easier as a combo.
It looks like no one is injured.
Additional healing learned. This is a pretty good outfit. I mean, if I don't care about defense, which I don't care about it at all on Velvet, she'll keep with that. So I think there's no other abilities to learn, so I'll just let her stick to this for now until Eleanor is ready to move on to that item. She's learning from this currently. She's got some time. I had a feeling there was a red herb here. See, I think the problem with this area, too, is that because there's so many colors, my eyes just don't pick up on the herbs as quickly. So it's like both a good and a bad thing. Ooh, look at Laphicet. Ooh, second tankiest party member, chat. So I used Laphicet for his intended purpose there, which was to stall for our allies to not only get extra souls, but also to let the people in reserves get a bit more health. And that ended up benefiting us greatly. So you might notice there's a double kind of hallway here. Yeah, we're going to be exploring this. It's going to take a while.
Going. Just don't step on any sea slugs, okay?
Why not? What's the big deal?
It's just that it isn't pretty. Their insides squish everywhere.
Yikes. That sounds pretty traumatizing.
Then again, if you pickle their innards, it makes for a great snack.
You eat them?
Oh, don't be a baby. You've had worse.
Forget the sea slugs. Try not to step on the coral.
Good point. Coral is alive and needs our protection.
Or maybe it's because some of it can be sold for jewelry.
I didn't mean either of those reasons. Although Manon appears similar to Maclear Beach, it was formed by a completely different process.
Now that you mention it, this area is covered by rocks.
Maclear is just your average seashore. But Manon here was made by the slow corrosion of seaside caves.
They were worn away by the waves?
That too. But mainly, it was the handiwork of a rock-eating species of coral, known as ravening table coral. Stay in contact long enough, and they'll melt your flesh right off.
Ah, so that's why it tingles every time I touch the coral.
Why didn't you warn us earlier?
Nothing like flesh-eating coral, chat. So I think the goal for this stream is not to beat the boss of the temple, but to at least get through most of the puzzles. Now, this room is also pretty good. I think you could teleport here later, but we could see if I'm right or wrong later. This room has a lot of souls. Oh boy, they're trying really hard to dangerous encounter me. Asmodeus earrings. Earrings patterned after a demon of lust enhances poison attacks. Well, let's go see what that does for us. Or I guess Asmodeus. I'm not sure what. Well, whatever. I guess that doesn't matter. I don't find the poison that useful for her. I don't even remember what moves of hers actually legit poison other than Water Mine. Oh, I guess Aqua Split. I guess. I don't know. It's okay. It's not the move I go to later on anyway. I'm almost always spamming Crown Fire later on. Got a little bit of our souls there at least. So away we go, chat. Our goal is to get onto that other side, but we have a little bit more to go. Snatching up all of the souls on the way there. Trying to recover from those giant cat chest deaths. Speaking of which, I might have missed the cat chest again. I'm trying to remember where it is here. There's definitely one that is here. If I miss it, we'll get it on the way back. It's not a big deal. I'll just remember that we didn't get it, and I'll double check. Ooh, Lofty Set. Your art defense is phenomenal. Again, we'll collect these souls just because they're on our path there. Otherwise, I won't go too far out of the way for anything. If I remember correctly, there's like a chest on the raised coral.
Have you been taking care of that rhino stag roast like a good boy?
Of course. I make sure to feed it every night before I go to sleep, since it's nocturnal.
How long are you going to keep on calling it a rhino stag roast?
I don't know. It's a new kind of beetle, so it's gonna be hard to tell if it's really a rhino or a stag. You're asking a lot of questions. Bienfu, do you like bugs?
Duh! I love rhinoceros and stag beetles both! What guy doesn't find them fascinating?
Right? So which kind of beetle do you think it is? Rhino or stag?
Oh, that's a tough question. But guess what? Miss Mogulu taught me a surefire way to tell.
I didn't know there was a way to tell.
Yeah, but if I do it, you gotta name it after me, alright? Come on! What guy doesn't wish he had a cool bug named after himself, right? And besides, Miss Mogulu told me that this technique is so good that it's only fair to have a bug named after you in return. So what do you say, man to man? Come on, let's live the dream!
Oh, all right. How can I say no to that? Besides, we all did work together to capture it anyway.
Yay! Thanks, Laffy Set. All right, show me the bug, and I'll tell you what it is. Miss Mogulu says you need to open up its outer wings and get a good whiff of the thin underwings.
I'm pretty sure I remember rhinoceros and stag beetles smelling really nasty under their wings.
Is it really that bad?
Why not find out for yourself?
No thanks. I think I'll pass.
Maybe you shouldn't do this after all, Bienfu.
You probably just want to hog the name all to yourself. Well, too bad! A real man never goes back on his word. If it packs a mean punch, then it's a rhinoceros beetle. And if it smells really zesty, then it's a stag beetle.
I don't know about this.
Just let him do it, Laphicet. He's already volunteered.
I can do this! Just you watch! This smell is the most bad thing that ever batted it!
Whoa! He fainted with his eyes still open! Hey! Wake up! Wake up, Bienfu!
Miss Magilu, as soon as I smelled it, my nose literally exploded.
He looks like he's having a bad dream.
I spy with my little eyes a kiddo who's spying at my bewitching waist.
Oh, sorry. I just couldn't help it. What are those books anyway?
Oh, that's a great question. Since you asked, I'll reveal the secrets of my tomes just for you. On the right, I've got my household ledger in the back, and my magic encyclopedia in the front. That one I mostly use for oil blotting paper.
What's oil blotting paper?
It's a girl thing. The two on the left are my heavy book, which I use for flower pressings, and then my super pop-up book.
A super pop-up book?
When you open it, it pops out with the force of a raging river! When an enemy has me cornered, I can just open it up facing a nearby wall and pop! Instant getaway! The only downside is that it's a real pain to try to get closed again, so I haven't used it in years.
What about the book right in front?
That's actually layer cake.
Whoa, really?
Seared into its batter are precious bits of knowledge. Eating it is just as good for your brain as it is for your stomach.
Wow! I had no idea that was possible.
He's taking this so seriously, I almost feel bad.
All of your books are so interesting, Magilu. That's really cool.
There's no end to your curiosity, is there? What do you say? Want to take a closer look?
Boy, would I.
If you really do, then say, Magilu, I want to get to know you better.
Magilu, I want to get to know you better.
All right, I accept. I'll reveal to you my most private secrets.
Wow, so that's what's on the other side of these books. I wouldn't have ever guessed that.
What the? What are you doing with Laphicet?
He said he wanted to see, so I'm showing him. You have no right to stand in the way of his desires.
It's my job to protect him as his vessel, especially from someone so wicked as yourself. Also, what you're doing runs contrary to public decency.
Witches aren't supposed to be decent.
These bindings with the locks on them. This style used to be really popular during the Meliodas dynasty.
Now that I know you're such a bad influence for him, I'll be keeping a closer eye on you.
If you can't learn to take it easy, nobody's ever gonna want to marry you, you know.
Like you're a shining example of marriage material yourself.
Hey, Magilu, could you turn them over one more time? I want to see how the book's attached to your belt.
Yeah, sure.
What's the heavy book?
Hey, Magilu, I was wondering about that book you have on your waist. The one you called your heavy book, for flower pressings.
Your curiosity truly knows no bounds, does it, kiddo? Okay, nobody else knows this, but since you're so interested, I'd hate to leave you hanging. My heavy book, the one I use for flower pressings, is none other than a collection of Bienfu's poetry.
Bienfu likes to write poems?
Yep. You'd never guess it, but he's actually just about the best Moloch poet around. Some people even call him the Great Norman Poet. Here, I'll read you my favorite one. If there is something unimportant happening to the east, I'm made to go there and back. If there is something unimportant happening to the west, I'm made to go there and back. I can never rest nor be at peace. Every day my life is a living hell.
That's heavy stuff.
Isn't it? That's what makes it so good for pressing flowers. It's so wonderfully oppressively heavy.
Magilu, your face has gone all sinister looking.
Bienfu never catches a break, chat. Now, I'm sure the immediate response to that is good. Just no hesitation. Let's continue along the path here. Yeah, we get to see Magilu showing Floppies at the other side of the books, which has a very different appearance from the outside. Magilu causing trouble once again. Oh, there's a silver chest over there. Sometimes they have interesting items. Sometimes. Yeah, amphibial garment. Not as interesting. We should have multiples of that. I have a feeling that when it's the silver chest, I don't think you could get new items from it, but the super rare chest, I walked into them by accident. The super rare chest is capable of giving you certain rares you can't find elsewhere. Well, speaking of which, since we're just in regular combat, why don't I show off Form 4? It's not bad, it's got decent range. So like, if I just immediately got stunned, I literally let go of block for like half a second. So if you Hurricane, you can kind of dash through them and then follow up with the Wind Slicer as a natural combo. It's not bad for adding to the hit count too, because keep in mind, chat, hit count equals more damage.
I'll finish this. No escape. Eat it. Blades of wind, slice them. Air blast. Eat it. Eat it.
I thought they were gonna stun him, so I was just doing normal combos there.
I'm not a fan of long, scary things.
Apparently they were not gonna stun him, chat.
Oh.
So we are well on our way towards going towards the southern path to wrap around to the temple. We're getting there, chat. We're making a lot of progress. I do remember this being like a lot of skits. It makes this area feel a lot longer, but fortunately in the future, if we ever have to backtrack here, which honestly might be never, unless we're just going for items specifically. From there, we will probably just take a teleport. Yeah, see, now we have unlocked the teleport. So things are a little better now, chat. So if I take it, we'll just see where this deposits me. Yeah, it puts us in the bonus room. That's not too bad. Well, there's a red herb right here, so that's kind of nice for us. Get more art attack for the only person we're giving herbs to. I was gonna say, chat can technically spend Ziggledies to change whoever I give the herbs or other bonuses to, or if you want me to focus on a specific character rather than just kind of switch depending on the situation, always feel free to put in the Ziggledies, but otherwise I'll just kind of do it freeform. I think from the very last stream we did, I think it was mostly going to Laphicet and then eventually it went to Eleanor towards the end, so that's why Eleanor has some boosted stats. I think Velvet only got, like, maybe the first handful of green herbs. Honestly, she hasn't really been buffed that much. She's pretty close to base stats, I'll put it that way. Oh, there's the cat chest. Good, chat, we haven't missed it. Let's see what we get for a reward for finding the cat chest. Man, we just started getting the cat spirits back. Got the Void Norman hat. Now, chat, for those of you that are curious, Aizen also got the bodysuit. There are 58 cat chests in the game. I think we only need... I'll double check the number. I want to say it's about 20 to get to the special area. I'll double check that one though, chat. That one I'm not as sure about. So we have a chance to basically collect as much as we need way before the trigger for the event occurs. That's why I'm thinking somewhere between 20 and 30. Once you do that, you should be good. But if you want to get the achievement and all the accessories, just keep in mind that it is 58 chests. Oh, there's another teleport. That'll save us a little bit more time. And I can see very, very far off in the distance is the entrance to the dungeon. So we still have like a good hour or so to tour through the dungeon. I think we could clear up most of the puzzles and some of the plot. But I think for maximum impact, I want to make sure we split the boss fight and the consequences thereof until the next time we stream. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm also really low on life bottle. I guess we could continue for now. I don't foresee needing to use it on the bosses. Again, for non-code red fights, I'd prefer not to use them at all.
How about it, Laphicet? Picking up on anything?
Yeah, in the direction of the temple. The feeling's getting stronger now.
Ooh, I see another chest of interest. We want to make sure to activate the teleport as well. So again, we've been pretty good at avoiding combat here. I think I've only bumped into a couple serpents by accident. I mean, another amphibial waistcoat I guess is okay for later. It's just average, I would say. It's not amazing. I'm mostly just looking for the rare chests. I just want to make sure I don't miss any rare chests because they are somewhat randomized, but more often than not they will have items you don't have of varying rarity. So depending on the area, I could end up getting gear that could provide us some nice bonuses, but are very hard to get duplicates of unless you like revisit these areas. So here we are, chat. We can see Palamedes in the distance. Now, this area I sometimes go to via the teleports because there are a decent amount of red herbs in this area. Let's go ahead and do a formal save. Speaking of which... Hello, Red Sage. Yes, more health for Tank the Set. He's getting there, chat. Soon he will have more than Eleanor, and that's all that matters. Okay, so as you might imagine, we are coming up to a water dungeon. Everybody's favorite, chat. It's finally here.
What's this?
See the symbol of the bow on the ground from Zesteria, telling you that indeed this is a water temple. Also screaming death and pain.
A demon!
The demon we heard about? Sounds like it's having fun.
Then we'll use this distraction.
There we go. Micleo's symbol from Zesteria. Looks like the guards are not doing too well, chat. Secrets of the Undersea Temple.
Wow, look outside! It's the ocean!
This was a place of worship for Aminoch, the Water Empyrean. The ancients built this sanctuary underwater for the same reason that Eumasia's temples were built underground.
But building this underwater couldn't have been easy.
Aye. With the Earth temples, all they had to do was keep digging. Here, they had water to contend with.
How did they do it? You can't split the sea like you can a log.
They started by stacking giant stone blocks in the shallows, creating an enclosed space. Then they drained the water and expanded the enclosure. Once they had done that enough times and secured enough dry space, they were able to dig into the sea floor.
It's mind-boggling, isn't it?
The humans believed that by going through such great hardships to build these temples, they could show the depth of their devotion.
Additionally, current research suggests the site of this temple once sat on the seacoast.
What? Are you saying I'm wrong?
No, I'm only reporting what I've read in academic journals.
How would coastal ruins sink into the ocean?
When the Empyreans began their slumber, the land shifted, and this temple was swallowed by the sea. Scholars were able to prove that the sand and the heavy stones formed an airtight seal around the structure. Later, people carved an undersea tunnel to connect to the temple, bringing it to its current state.
Now that you mention it, I think I read that book too. Revised Theories on Ancient Architecture, right?
That's the one. Have you read it, Eisen?
No, I only read the first edition.
The problem with the stone enclosure theory is that each time you expand the enclosure, the innermost stones have to be carried out. Once that was pointed out as being too inefficient, alternate theories were developed. The revised edition has a number of competing theories. I highly recommend reading it.
I will then.
So, wait, was that a complete rebuttal of Eisen's explanation?
That was not my intention.
It's okay. Archaeology is a continuous process of asking new questions and making new discoveries. Prevailing theories change all the time.
What's it matter anyway? Let's just get going.
Or Eisen, chat. Where are the Empyreans, says the skid.
There's no Empyrean here, right, Eisen?
If you're worried about it, why not flip that coin of his? Heads, no Empyrean. Tails, Empyrean Central.
but it always comes up tails.
Like I said before, these temples are nothing more than places of worship built by human hands. The current religion started when humans, fearful of natural forces, began to worship four gods they called the Empyreans. If you're concerned about whether or not one is sleeping in these ruins, just remember that their very existence is only legend.
Be that as it may, Enominat certainly exists.
Aye. But I've never heard a single story of anyone actually seeing an Empyrean. Enominat must be a special case then.
Must be.
I suppose so. If there were 4 more like him, and they were all trying to stop us, we'd be sunk.
I can't disagree.
I do actually kind of like the music for this place. I don't talk about the music too often in this game, because I feel like it's decent, but it's not, like, amazing. I guess that's a great way to put it. Like, the themes work by themselves. Like, I like Velvet's variations of themes. But there isn't, like, one true theme that I would, like, go back to, for example, after the game is done. I think it suits the game, but I'm not, like, crazy about it either. But that is a nice dungeon theme. Oh no, chat, they're wide open. Oh, they're dead, chat. I heard the stun. That guy is crazy dead. So they don't drop anything special for fighting them. So if you're just looking for items, don't fight these enemies. They're not worth your time. But we'll show them off in general before they get obliterated. Oh, he actually stunned me. What a jerk. Well, he tried casting a spell there. Briefly. Before he was sandwiched.
If you want to live, get...
Kirk is excited we could be fighting a god. I will neither confirm nor deny that, Kirk. I'll leave it ambiguous. You'll just have to find out. Now, the first time I did this temple, I will let you know, chat. Like, the very first time I did this temple, I did not understand the puzzle, and I felt so mad at myself for not understanding this puzzle. So we're gonna read the hint that's on them. Oh no, chat, it's a monolith. Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. No, Tails is Hysteria, stop. I don't want to see any more monoliths. Anyway, it says the chalice bears the symbol and that commands the flowing water. Should the chalice be filled with water and its mark turn blue, the water shall be as a wall to thwart your path. Should the chalice be dry by flame and its mark turn white, the impeding water shall lie still, opening the path for you. So this initial puzzle is okay, but the puzzle to open the final door, I was not fully understanding, and that took me a little while. So we'll talk about it more once you get a glimpse of it. So this portion of it is not too bad. Oh, I'm sorry, chat. I forgot to look for some voice clips. That reminds me. I have to go back for some. Thank you, chat. Yeah, I definitely need Is That a Monolith? Oh my gosh. That voice chat. So it says there's an indent in the pedestal. It looks like you can insert something into it. So this dungeon also makes use of the wall breaking to expand into further areas of the dungeon. And if you don't realize you can do that, you could also be stuck here for a little bit of time. So for example, if you see this and don't realize that this is something you can interact with, you could end up wasting a lot of time.
Me? Are you...
Okay, we're gonna have the little boy just punch it. There we go. We're gonna go ahead and get a Denor bottle. We're gonna go ahead and activate the chalice. Straightforward. We burn the water. And that causes the waterfall to stop. I like that that looks like a little face. I forgot to mention that before it popped up, but every time I see that, it just, when it does the top-down view, it looks like 2 eyes on the doors, and then the little circle in front is the happy face. So we'll ignore the tip there. It's not super useful. Just know that, like, when chalice full, water forms. When chalice not full, water is not in your way, generally speaking. So we're still not able to progress through here. I want to show one other thing. Is that there's going to be these side doors. So for people that are going through the puzzle the first time, these side doors are actually important to know about, or else you will not be getting very far. So let's get another hint from this area. Jewel's embedded in the monolith, you remove it. So shaped like a teardrop, the jewel is found wedged in the monument at the Palamedes Temple. So we need these in order to continue. Oh, I thought this one had another tip. Never mind, you just have the one enclosure. We'll also stand on this, because this is a teleport. It's important to know this teleport is here, or else you will not understand the puzzle for later. So we can see here that there's a way to get into this room, but the water blocks our path. I'm not allowed to just walk through the waterfall. Honestly speaking, we should be able to go through that waterfall, but for puzzle reasons, we're not able to go through that waterfall. So we'll keep in mind that potentially at some point, we have to come from that left room to enter this warp. So you can kind of file that in the back of your heads for now. So we also have a door over here we can't interact with. Now we know the chalice in front of us is missing a gem. So with the gem, we should be able to toggle on and off the properties of the waterfall. But we'll see that there's another extra step to open the final door. It's not as straightforward as this puzzle. This is kind of a... I would say it's actually a pretty good intro to the puzzle that's here. It's just I wasn't sure the first time I played what to do, which was kind of my bad, because I'm not super great at puzzles. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and burn the water, and when we get rid of the water, it will open up another path for us. Expedition has returned, chat.
Take a look at...
All right, now it's up to you.
Oh, looks like the stream connection got a little weird for a second, so I'll just let the game think about it for a bit. I'll just do some menuing until I think things balance out a bit better. So, I don't think I really talked about too much about the titles, since we haven't really had a reason to really switch them from their defaults. But generally speaking, I think our goal with the titles is that it'll start you with some basic ones, like the character levels. Generally speaking, I will try to almost always move it to the one that gives us extra blast gauge from a break soul. These are extremely, extremely, extremely overpowered. And then the only other one I can think of is that much later on, once you end up using a lot of Mystic Arts, every character has one where it's like Mystic Arts used. Not only does it give you extra blast gauge, which helps with getting the cap of 9 blast gauge for a character, but if you manage to actually finish the title... Actually, Velvet's a better example. So if you manage to actually complete all 1000 usage of a Mystic Art, which again is not expected for you to ever, ever, ever do that in a single playthrough. You could get something where you double the amount of art usage count, and that's useful for actually powering you up, because, for example, the more stars you have in a move, the more effective it is in terms of damage and other things, like I think it might affect the chance of a status effect occurring, which is definitely true with different titles. But anyway, more stars on a move means it's more powerful than when you first used it. So being able to half the amount of times you have to press it is pretty significant, because some of the moves require you to use them like 9,000 times or more to get the 5 stars. Some of them only require 4K or so, or not like unreasonable to do in a single playthrough, but
Are we ready for this?
We'll see how it is. Now, one thing I do kind of want from the Deep Barrier is the Kingly Waistcoat. Hopefully we could get at least one of them while we're here. Looks like the stream connection's good. Again, chat, we just gotta shout they're wide open. We gotta let them know. If you don't shout it, it means they're not wide open. That's a fact. Oh, he interrupted my spell. I was hoping it would be quick enough that it wouldn't be interrupted. I feel so sad I'm not able to... Did I really get the stun stolen from me again? Oh no, maybe because he's out of souls to give. Maybe that's what it is. There we go, much better. I'll take my revenge on them. That's for removing my soul as Aizen. I don't appreciate it. Man, that guy was just on me immediately. Stop it. There we go, that's what I was looking to do. Got a little bit of our blast gauge back. Chat is saying the titles seem a little more useful here than in Symphonia. Well, if I end up playing Symphonia, I'll go on a very long tangent on the titles in Symphonia, but I was not a fan of the titles in Symphonia for many reasons. I don't think their stat bonuses made any sense for difficulty to attain, as an example. We're gonna set the jewel. We're gonna burn the water, and by burning the water, we could see that this particular chalice goes from blue to white, and that opens the path in front of us. I want to backtrack slightly, because we want to make sure to grab items from the other door. Yeah, titles in some of the other Tales games, for those of you not familiar, end up giving stat bonuses. So every time you level up, it just gives additional stats. But it also causes a weird dynamic where you feel like you don't want to level at all, because then you will just miss out on a ton of stats. I don't like how it makes me feel when I play those kinds of games. Some of them are just for show, or some of them help introduce, like, what arts you get in what order, and they're, like, okay. Like, I think the titles in Zesteria were, like, one of the things I didn't have, like, a huge complaint about. It apparently influenced the AI a little bit, but honestly, the AI is just... It's something in that game. Ooh, a mini-boss chat.
Well, it wiped out the security for us, but...
Werewolf time, chat.
Well, look at that. Wolfie's got the crest of Aminoch. The same pendant worn by priestesses.
Then that makes this demon...
Yeah, she must be the missing mother, Mahina.
Can't be.
I was gonna say, if chat is interested in me playing Symphonia, I actually need to purchase a version of it. I only played it on the GameCube, so I don't have a streamable version.
Don't just stand there. It's gonna eat you.
You're wide open! Burn! Let's go! I'll stop it! It trembles!
Oh, I actually got that evade? That felt so good. Oh, it also went to auto. Stop going to auto. Stop that game. I don't know why that keeps happening. I have to check that. I swear I'm not pressing anything other than the swap button.
Killing flash! When I'm this close, I won't miss! Form zero!
Hurricane, chat. Oh, there's another soul for me to take. I'll go ahead and take that. Oh, it's resistant to ice. Actually, I never looked to see what this dropped. It drops Wearying Glaciate. Does more damage when low on health, does a lot of water moves. Honestly, the stats compared to the thing we fought outside are phenomenally lower. Like, look at the health difference, chat, compared to that Harpy we fought. Like, this is such an easy battle compared to what we did before. So if you're wondering why this looks like it's easier, it's because it literally has like half the stats of the thing we fought outside. Oh, this boss is dead. This boss is crazy dead, chat.
Ready to die? Think you can dodge?
We'll give it to Aizen, chat. We'll let Aizen level more, because chat seems to like Aizen. Yeah, that boss was destroyed.
To think a priestess, beloved by her village, would become a demon.
Eleanor?
She's never going to be the same again. This is the least I can do for her. So says reason.
Huh? That feeling.
Damn!
Let the demon be. We don't need it.
So it seems like the connection's going down. I might have to pause streaming because I am not in control of the internet connections. It's a shame. I have a really good connection, or at least I'm paying for one, but today it seems to be not kicking in. So I would have preferred to get a little further in this temple. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to very briefly look over at this. I'm gonna try one restart maybe. Actually, I'll just give it a couple minutes. I'll take a stream break. We'll be right back. Hopefully it sorts itself out.